Welcome to English Podcast for Beginners. I'm James.
And I'm Emma. We're so happy you're here today.
Today, we talk about something special. We talk about your father's hobbies.
Have you ever tried to talk about your dad's favorite activities, but you don't know the right words?
Maybe your father loves fishing, or maybe he likes to fix things around the house.
You want to share these stories with your friends, but you feel stuck. You don't have the English words.
Don't worry, we help you today.
In the next 25 minutes, you learn exactly what to say.
Let me tell you what you get today. First, you learn the names of common hobbies. Simple words like fishing, reading, and fixing things.
Second, you learn how to describe what someone does. You can say, "My father goes fishing every weekend."
And third, you learn how to ask questions about hobbies. Questions like, what does your father do for fun?
These 3 skills help you in many situations.
If you ever feel nervous talking about family activities, this episode is for you.
I remember my first English conversation about hobbies. I tried to tell my coworker about my father. He loves to read books, but I only said, "My father, books." That's all. I felt so embarrassed.
We all start somewhere, Emma. That's normal.
Yes, but now I can tell the full story. I can say, "My father reads mystery books every night. He enjoys quiet time after dinner."
See? That's the power of simple English. You can connect with people. You can share your life.
And here's the exciting part. You don't need to be perfect. You just need a few good phrases.
Today, we cover this topic in 4 simple parts. Part 1 teaches basic hobby words. Part 2 shows you how to describe activities. Part 3 helps you ask questions. And Part 4 brings it all together in real conversations.
Let's start with something you can use right now. A quick win.
Ready? Here's one useful sentence. Listen. My father enjoys fishing.
Let me say it again. My father enjoys fishing.
Notice the word enjoys. It means he likes it. He has fun doing it.
You can change the hobby. My father enjoys reading. My father enjoys fixing things.
This sentence works in so many situations. At work, with friends, with new people.
Imagine you're at a coffee shop. Someone asks, "Tell me about your family."
You smile and say, my father enjoys fishing. He goes to the lake every Sunday.
Perfect. Simple, clear.
Did you notice how natural that sounds? You don't need big words or complicated grammar.
Just clear, simple sentences. That's the secret.
Now, here's something interesting. Many English learners already know hobby words. They know fishing and reading.
But they don't know how to use these words in conversations. They can't tell the full story.
That's exactly what we fix today.
So here's a question for you. Think about this quietly in your mind. What hobby does your father enjoy?
Maybe it's fishing, maybe it's gardening, maybe it's watching sports.
Picture that hobby in your mind. By the end of this episode, you can describe it perfectly in English.
In Part 1, we dive into the essential hobby vocabulary. You learn the exact words you need.
And we show you common mistakes to avoid, mistakes that many beginners make.
You're going to feel so confident by the end. Trust me.
Are you ready to start? Let's jump into Part 1.
Welcome to Part 1. Here we learn basic hobby vocabulary. These are the words you use to talk about what your father does for fun.
Why does this matter? Because hobbies are a big part of life. When you meet someone new, you often talk about hobbies. It's a friendly topic. It helps you connect.
Let me start with 3 common hobbies. The first one is fishing. Fishing means you catch fish, usually at a lake or river or ocean.
My father goes fishing. He wakes up early on Saturday mornings, he takes his fishing rod and goes to the lake.
The second hobby is reading. Reading means you look at books or magazines. You enjoy stories or information.
Reading is quiet. Some fathers like to sit in a comfortable chair. They read books about history or adventure.
The third hobby is fixing things. Fixing means you repair something broken, or you build something new.
My uncle loves fixing things. He fixes old furniture, he fixes the car. He always has tools in his hands.
Now let me show you how to use these words in real conversations. Listen carefully.
Example 1. Someone asks, "What does your father do on weekends?"
You say, he goes fishing. He loves the quiet time at the lake.
Example 2. Someone asks, Does your father have any hobbies?
You say, yes, he enjoys reading. He reads mystery books every night.
Example 3. Someone asks, what is your father good at?
You say, he's good at fixing things. He can repair almost anything.
See how natural these sound? Short sentences, clear ideas.
Now, here's a common mistake many learners make. They say, my father likes to fishing. That's wrong.
Don't say, my father likes to fishing. Say, my father likes fishing, or say, my father likes to fish.
The rule is simple. After likes, you can use the base form with to or the ing form. So likes to fish or likes fishing. Both work.
But never likes to fishing. That's the mistake to avoid.
Good. Now let's practice with guided listening. Emma, give us some examples.
Sure. Listen to these sentences. Notice how we use hobby words. My father enjoys fishing every Sunday. He catches many fish. He feels relaxed by the water.
Great example. Did you hear those 3 sentences? They all connect. They tell a story.
Here's another one. My father loves reading. He reads books about science. He learns something new every day.
Excellent. Now imagine you want to talk about your own father. Think quietly. What hobby does he have?
Maybe he likes cooking. Maybe he likes playing sports. Maybe he likes gardening.
In your mind, try this sentence. My father enjoys, and then add the hobby. Don't say it out loud, just think about it.
That's perfect practice. You're learning by listening and thinking. That's how your brain learns new language.
Now let's make this a bit more challenging. Listen to this longer example. My father goes fishing every weekend. He wakes up at 5 in the morning. He drives to the lake. He stays there for 3 hours. He enjoys the quiet nature.
Did you notice? 5 sentences. They all work together. They paint a picture.
You can do this too. You just need simple sentences, one idea at a time.
And remember, you're doing great. Learning takes time. But every example you hear helps your brain.
You've got this.
Now let's apply this to a real situation. Imagine you're at work. It's Monday morning. Your coworker asks, how was your weekend?
This is a perfect time to mention your father's hobby. You can say, I visited my father. He took me fishing. It was really fun.
Or you can say, my father and I spent time together. He was reading his favorite books. We had a nice, quiet day.
See? These are natural, real-life responses. You're not just listing hobbies, you're sharing an experience.
Here's another scenario. You're meeting someone for the first time. They ask about your family.
You can say, my father enjoys fixing things. He built a bookshelf last month. He's very skilled with his hands.
Perfect. That tells a lot about your father. It shows his interests and his abilities.
The key takeaway from part 1 is this. Use simple present sentences to describe hobbies. Focus on what your father does and why he enjoys it.
You now have the basic vocabulary: fishing, reading, fixing things. And you know how to use them in sentences.
Confidence check. You can already describe your father's hobby in English. Yes, you can. Even if it's just one simple sentence, that's a great start.
In the next part, we go deeper. We learn how to describe hobby activities in more detail.
Great work so far. You just learned how to say, my father enjoys fishing, and he's good at fixing things.
But here's the thing. Sometimes people want more details. They ask, what does he do when he goes fishing? Or how does he fix things?
And that's where part 2 comes in. We show you how to describe the activities, the actions, the steps.
Think about this. When your father does his hobby, what exactly happens? What does he do first? What does he do next?
Can you picture it in your mind? That image is about to become English words.
Let's go. Part 2 starts now.
Welcome to part 2. Now we learn how to describe hobby activities. In part 1, you learned to say, my father enjoys fishing. Now you learn to say what he does when he goes fishing.
This is important because it makes your English sound rich and interesting. You don't just name the hobby. You tell the story. You share the experience.
Let's start with fishing. When someone goes fishing, what do? First, they prepare their fishing rod. Then they put bait on the hook. Then they throw the line into the water.
Right, and they wait. They sit quietly, they watch the water. When a fish bites, they pull the rod quickly.
See, those are the activities. Prepare, put, throw, wait, watch, pull. These verbs describe the actions.
Let's try reading next. When someone reads, what do? They open a book, they find a comfortable spot, they turn the pages, they look at the words.
And they think about the story. They imagine the characters. They enjoy the quiet time.
Perfect. Now for fixing things. When someone fixes something, they use tools, they examine the problem, they take things apart, they repair the broken part. They put everything back together.
These descriptions help people understand the hobby. They see the full picture.
Now let me demonstrate with real conversations. Listen to this. Person A asks, what does your father do when he goes fishing?
Person B says, he wakes up early. He packs his fishing rod and some food. He drives to the lake. He finds a quiet spot. He sits there for hours. He catches fish and enjoys nature.
That's a complete description. It shows the whole activity from start to finish.
Here's another one. Person A asks, tell me about your father's reading habit.
Person B says, he reads every evening. He sits in his favorite chair. He turns on a small lamp. He reads for about an hour. He loves mystery stories.
Excellent. One more example. Person A asks, how does your father fix things?
Person B says, he looks at the problem carefully. He gets his tools from the garage. He works slowly and patiently. He always finds a solution. He's very good with his hands.
Did you notice something? Each response uses simple action verbs. Wakes up, packs, drives, finds, sits, reads, looks, gets, works.
These verbs are your best friends. They help you describe any activity.
Now here's a common mistake. Some learners say, my father is fishing every day. That sounds strange.
Don't say, my father is fishing every day. Say, my father goes fishing every day, or say, my father fishes every day.
The difference is important. Is fishing shows an action happening right now. But when you talk about habits or regular activities, use the simple present. Goes fishing or fishes.
That's the mistake to avoid. Use simple present for regular hobbies.
Good. Now let's practice. Emma, give us some activity descriptions to listen to.
Sure. Listen to this one. My father prepares his fishing gear on Friday nights. He cleans his rod. He checks his hooks. He gets everything ready. On Saturday morning, he leaves at 6. He drives to his favorite lake. He stays there until noon.
Beautiful. That's a complete sequence of actions. Can you see it in your mind? It's like a small movie.
Here's another. My father reads before bed every night. He finishes his dinner. He sits in his reading chair. He picks a book from the shelf. He reads slowly. He enjoys each page. He falls asleep feeling relaxed.
Perfect example. Now imagine your own father's hobby. Picture what he does. Think about the actions. What does he do first? What does he do next?
Maybe he cooks. He chops vegetables. He heats the pan. He adds spices. He tastes the food.
Or maybe he gardens. He digs the soil. He plants seeds. He waters the plants. He watches them grow.
In your mind, try to list 3 actions your father does during his hobby. Don't say them out loud. Just think about them.
This is great practice. Your brain is working. You're connecting English words to real images.
Now, let's add more challenge. Listen to this longer description. Every Sunday, my father fixes things around the house. First, he makes a list of problems. Maybe the door squeaks. Maybe the table wobbles. Then he collects his tools. He works on each problem one by one. He takes his time. He checks each repair carefully. By evening, everything works perfectly. He feels proud of his work.
That's a detailed story. 8 sentences. They all connect. They show the complete activity.
And look, it's not complicated. Just simple sentences, simple verbs, simple ideas.
You can do this. You really can.
Now, let's apply this skill. Imagine you're talking to a friend. Your friend says, I want to learn fishing. Can you tell me what it's like?
This is your chance to describe your father's fishing experience. You can say, "My father goes fishing often. He says it's very peaceful. You sit by the water. You listen to nature. You wait patiently. Sometimes you catch fish, sometimes you don't, but you always feel calm and happy."
That's a perfect response. You describe the activity and you share the experience.
Another scenario. You're at a family gathering. Someone asks, "What keeps your father busy these days?"
You can say, he loves reading. He reads every evening. He has a big collection of books. He reads stories about different places. He says books take him on adventures.
Great. You describe the activity and you explain why your father enjoys it.
Here's the key takeaway from part 2. Use action verbs to describe what happens during a hobby. Talk about the steps, share the experience.
You now know how to go beyond just naming the hobby. You can paint a picture with words.
And remember, you're making real progress. These skills help you in everyday conversations.
Next, we learn something even more useful: how to ask questions about hobbies.
You're doing amazing. You now know how to describe activities. You can say, he prepares his fishing rod, he waits by the water, he catches fish.
Those descriptions make your conversations interesting. People want to listen to you.
But conversations go 2 ways. Sometimes you're the one asking questions.
You want to learn about someone else's father or family.
And that's what part 3 teaches. The right questions to ask. The questions that start great conversations and show you care.
Think about the last time someone asked you a good question. It felt nice, right? You felt heard.
Now you learn how to give others that same feeling.
Ready? Part 3 starts now. Welcome to Part 3. Here we learn how to ask questions about hobbies. Good questions keep conversations going. They show you're interested. They help you connect with people.
This matters because conversations are not just about talking. They're about listening and asking. When you ask good questions, people enjoy talking to you.
Let's look at some basic questions first. The most common one is, what are your father's hobbies?
Simple and direct. It opens the door for the other person to share.
Another one is, does your father have any hobbies? This works when you're not sure if someone has hobbies.
And here's a more specific one. What does your father do for fun? This is friendly and casual.
Now let's add follow-up questions. These are questions you ask after the first answer. They show you're really listening.
For example, someone says, my father likes fishing. You can ask, how often does he go fishing?
Or you can ask, where does he usually fish?
Or even, how long has he enjoyed fishing?
These follow-up questions make the conversation deeper, more interesting.
Now let me demonstrate with some conversations. Listen carefully to how questions work in a real dialogue.
Conversation 1. Person A says, my father loves reading.
Person B asks, what kind of books does he read?
Person A says, he reads history books.
Person B asks, does he have a favorite historical period?
Person A says, yes, he loves reading about ancient Rome.
See how the questions get more specific? Each question builds on the previous answer.
Conversation 2. Person A says, my father enjoys fixing things.
Person B asks, what does he usually fix?
Person A says, he fixes furniture and small appliances.
Person B asks, did he learn this skill from someone?
Person A says, yes, his father taught him when he was young.
Notice how these questions show genuine interest? They're not just asking for information, they're building a connection.
Now here's a common mistake. Some learners only ask yes or no questions. They say, does your father like fishing? The answer is just yes or no. Then the conversation stops.
Don't rely only on yes or no questions. Mix them with open questions. Questions that start with what, how, where, when, or why.
For example, don't just ask, does your father have hobbies? Follow up with, what hobbies does he enjoy?
Don't just ask, does he go fishing often? Ask, how often does he go fishing?
These open questions give people space to share more. They keep the conversation flowing.
Good. Now let's practice. I give you some question examples. Listen and notice the question words.
Question 1. What hobbies does your father enjoy?
This asks for a list or description.
Question 2. How did your father start fishing? This asks about the beginning or origin.
Question 3. Where does your father like to read? This asks about the location.
Question 4. When does your father work on his projects? This asks about timing.
Question 5. Why does your father enjoy fixing things? This asks about the reason or motivation.
All of these are open questions. They invite detailed answers.
Now think about a conversation you want to have, maybe with a coworker or a new friend. What questions can you ask about their father or family?
In your mind, create 2 questions. One basic question to start, one follow-up question to go deeper. For example, start with, what does your father do in his free time? Then follow up with, how long has he been doing that?
This is silent practice. You don't need to say anything out loud. Just think. Your brain is learning.
Let's increase the challenge. Listen to this longer exchange. Person A asks, tell me about your father.
Person B says, my father is retired now. He spends a lot of time on his hobbies.
Person A asks, what hobbies keep him busy?
Person B says, he loves fishing and reading. He goes fishing on weekends and reads every evening.
Person A asks, that sounds wonderful. Where does he go fishing?
Person B says, he goes to a lake about an hour from our house. It's quiet there. He says it helps him relax.
Person A asks, and what kind of books does he read?
Person B says, mostly mystery novels. He likes stories that keep him guessing.
Did you count the questions? Person A asked 4 questions. Each one shows interest. Each one gets a good answer.
And notice, Person A listens carefully. The questions connect to the answers. That's the sign of a good conversation.
You can do this too. Listen first, then ask questions based on what you hear.
Now let's apply this. Imagine you're at a work lunch. A new coworker sits next to you. You want to be friendly.
You can start with, do you have family nearby?
They say, yes, my father lives close.
You ask, that's nice. What does he enjoy doing?
They say, he loves gardening. He grows vegetables and flowers.
You ask, how interesting. What does he grow in his garden?
See? 3 simple questions. They show you care. They start a real conversation.
Another scenario. You're at a community event. You meet someone new. You talk about family.
You ask, tell me about your father. What's he like?
They say, he's very active. He fixes things around the house all the time.
You ask, what kinds of things does he fix?
They say, anything that breaks. He's really skilled.
You ask, where did he learn those skills?
Perfect. Your questions show respect and interest.
Here's the key takeaway from part 3. Ask open questions. Listen to the answers. Ask follow-up questions. This creates real conversations.
You now have the tools to keep any conversation about hobbies going. You're not just asking, you're also asking.
And remember, people love to talk about their families. When you ask good questions, you make friends easily.
You're building confidence with every lesson.
Keep going. In part 4, we put everything together. You practice full conversations from start to finish.
Look how far you've come. You know how to name hobbies, you know how to describe activities, and you know how to ask great questions like, what hobbies does your father enjoy?
These are real skills, skills you use in daily life, at work, with friends, in social situations.
But now comes the exciting part. We show you complete conversations, real back and forth exchanges.
In part 4, you see how all these pieces fit together, how a simple greeting turns into a meaningful conversation about family and hobbies.
Imagine feeling totally confident in these conversations. No more searching for words, no more feeling stuck.
That confidence is just minutes away. Are you ready for the final part?
Let's finish strong. Part 4 begins now. Welcome to Part 4. This is where everything comes together. You use all the skills from Parts 1, 2, and 3. You create complete, natural conversations about your father's hobbies.
This is important because real conversations don't follow a script. You need to mix talking, describing, and asking. You adapt to what the other person says. That's what we practice now.
Let's start by introducing a realistic scenario. Imagine you're at a coffee shop. You meet an old friend. You haven't seen each other in months.
Your friend says, "Hi, how are you? How's your family?"
This is your chance to mention your father's hobby. You can say, everyone's doing well. My father just retired. He spends a lot of time fishing now.
Notice what you did there. You answered the question and you added information about your father's hobby. That's natural conversation.
Your friend responds, "That's wonderful. Where does he go fishing?"
You describe the activity. He goes to a lake near our town. He wakes up early on Saturdays. He spends the whole morning by the water. He really enjoys the peace and quiet.
See? You combine vocabulary from part 1, description from part 2, and you're ready to answer questions from part 3.
Now let me demonstrate a full conversation. Listen to this exchange between two coworkers.
Alex says, "Good morning, Maria. Did you have a nice weekend?"
Maria says, "Yes, I visited my father. We had a great time."
Alex asks, "What did you do?"
Maria says, "He took me fishing. It's his favorite hobby. We went to a beautiful lake."
Alex says, "I didn't know he likes fishing. How long has he been doing that?"
Maria says, "About 5 years. He started after he retired. He goes every weekend now."
Alex asks, "Does he catch a lot of fish?"
Maria says, "Sometimes yes, sometimes no, but he says that's not the point. He enjoys being in nature. He feels relaxed there."
Alex says, "That sounds really peaceful. Maybe I should try it sometime."
Maria says, "You should. My father says anyone can learn. It just takes patience."
That was a complete conversation. 10 exchanges. Very natural, very smooth.
Maria used hobby vocabulary, she described activities, she answered questions, she even gave extra details.
And notice the flow. It starts with a simple question about the weekend. It grows into a meaningful conversation about family and hobbies.
Now, here's a mistake to avoid. Some learners give very short answers and don't add details. For example, someone asks, "What does your father do for fun?" They just say, "Fishing." That's it. The conversation dies.
Don't do that. Instead, add a little more. Say, "He loves fishing. He goes to the lake every Sunday. It's his way to relax."
Give enough information to keep the conversation interesting, but don't talk too much. Find the balance.
Right. 2 to 3 sentences is usually perfect.
Now let's practice with more examples. I show you different situations. Listen to how the conversations flow.
Example 1. You're at a family party. A cousin you rarely see asks about your father.
Cousin says, "How's your dad doing?"
You say, "He's great. He's really into reading these days. He reads a book every week."
Cousin says, "Wow, that's a lot. What does he like to read?"
You say, "Mostly mystery novels. He likes trying the puzzles before the end of the book."
Cousin says, "That's fun. Where does he get his books?"
You say, "He goes to the library. He loves the quiet atmosphere there. He says it's his happy place."
Perfect. You shared information, answered questions, and kept the conversation going.
Example 2. You're at work. During lunch break, a coworker talks about their weekend plans.
Coworker says, "I'm thinking of taking up a new hobby. Any ideas?"
You say, "My father recently started fixing things around the house. He really enjoys it. Maybe you could try something hands-on like that."
Coworker says, "Interesting. What does he fix?"
You say, "All kinds of things. Old furniture, broken appliances, small repairs. He watches online videos to learn. He says it's satisfying to make something work again."
Coworker says, "That sounds rewarding. Does he need expensive tools?"
You say, "Not really. He started with a basic toolbox. He adds new tools as he needs them. You don't need much to begin."
See how you helped your coworker by sharing your father's experience? That's a valuable conversation.
Now let's add complexity. Listen to this longer conversation. Pay attention to how the speakers build on each topic.
Person A asks, "Tell me about your family. Do you get to see them often?"
Person B says, "I see my father every month. We usually spend the day together."
Person A asks, "That's nice. What do you do together?"
Person B says, "It depends. Sometimes we go fishing. That's his main hobby. Other times we just sit and talk while he reads his books."
Person A says he likes reading too. What a great combination of hobbies.
Person B says, "Yes, he's very active. He goes fishing for exercise and excitement. He reads for relaxation and learning. He balances both."
Person A asks, "Where does he go fishing?"
Person B says, "There's a river about 30 minutes away. He knows the best spots. He's been going there for years."
Person A says he sounds like an expert.
Person B says, "He is. He even teaches me. Last month, he showed me how to prepare the fishing rod properly. I'm learning a lot from him.
Person A says, that's wonderful. It's great that you share that time together.
Person B says, I agree. These moments mean a lot to me.
That conversation had depth. It covered hobbies, family time, personal growth, and emotions.
And it all started with a simple question. That's the power of good conversation skills.
Now, here's a mistake to avoid. Some learners give very short answers and don't add details. For example, someone asks, what does your father do for fun? They just say, fishing. That's it. The conversation dies.
Don't do that. Instead, add a little more. Say, he loves fishing. He goes to the lake every Sunday. It's his way to relax.
Give enough information to keep the conversation interesting, but don't talk too much. Find the balance.
Right. 2 to 3 sentences is usually perfect.
Now let's practice with more examples. I show you different situations. Listen to how the conversations flow.
Example 1. You're at a family party. A cousin you rarely see asks about your father.
Cousin says, how's your dad doing?
You say, he's great. He's really into reading these days. He reads a book every week.
Cousin says, wow, that's a lot. What does he like to read?
You say, mostly mystery novels. He likes trying to solve the puzzles before the end of the book.
Cousin says, that's fun. Where does he get his books?
You say, he goes to the library. He loves the quiet atmosphere there. He says it's his happy place.
Perfect. You shared information, answered questions, and kept the conversation going.
Example 2. You're at work. During lunch break, a coworker talks about their weekend plans.
Coworker says, I'm thinking of taking up a new hobby. Any ideas?
You say, my father recently started fixing things around the house. He really enjoys it. Maybe you could try something hands-on like that.
Coworker says, interesting. What does he fix?
You say, all kinds of things. Old furniture, broken appliances, small repairs. He watches online videos to learn. He says it's satisfying to make something work again.
Coworker says, that sounds rewarding. Does he need expensive tools?
You say, not really. He started with a basic toolbox. He adds new tools as he needs them. You don't need much to begin.
See how you helped your coworker by sharing your father's experience? That's a valuable conversation.
Now let's add complexity. Listen to this longer conversation. Pay attention to how the speakers build on each topic.
Person A asks, tell me about your family. Do you get to see them often?
Person B says, I see my father every month. We usually spend the day together.
Person A asks, that's nice. What do you do together?
Person B says, it depends. Sometimes we go fishing. That's his main hobby. Other times we just sit and talk while he reads his books.
Person A says he likes reading too. What a great combination of hobbies.
Person B says, yes, he's very active. He goes fishing for exercise and excitement. He reads for relaxation and learning. He balances both.
Person A asks, where does he go fishing?
Person B says, there's a river about 30 minutes away. He knows the best spots. He's been going there for years.
Person A says, he sounds like an expert.
Person B says, he is. He even teaches me. Last month, he showed me how to prepare the fishing rod properly. I'm learning a lot from him.
Person A says, that's wonderful. It's great that you share that time together.
Person B says, I agree. These moments mean a lot to me.
That conversation had depth. It covered hobbies, family time, personal growth, and emotions.
And it all started with a simple question. That's the power of good conversation skills.
Now it's your turn to imagine. Think about a real conversation you might have this week. Maybe with a coworker, maybe with a friend, maybe with a neighbor.
Picture the situation. Someone asks about your family or your weekend. What do you say? How do you mention your father's hobby?
In your mind, walk through the conversation. Start with your answer, imagine their question, think about your response.
This mental practice is powerful. Your brain prepares for the real thing.
Now let's apply everything with a final realistic scenario. You're at a community event. You sit next to someone new, you start talking.
They say, hi, I'm Jordan. I'm new to this area.
You say, nice to meet you, Jordan. You can say your name. Welcome to the neighborhood.
Jordan says, thank you. Do you have family here?
Yes, my father lives nearby. We see each other often.
Jordan says, "That's nice. What does he do?"
He's retired. He spends his time on his hobbies. He loves fishing and reading.
Jordan says,